I don't think you ever have enough time in that, in that short window, especially coming into a new team, wanting to establish certain protocols and things like that you need to play with. It's a continuous work in progress. Now, in saying that, even if you come back with another team that you've already been with for a year or two or whatever, there's always things. The game's ever changing.
How about as far as the first road trip coming up and going to Montreal? When you have a young team like this and you have an influx of talent, can that first road trip be galvanizing?
I think it can. Certainly, like you said, with some younger players, the veterans, it's always nice to get on the road and get into that environment where there aren't any, I guess, for lack of a better term, although it's not, because families aren't distractions, but they're just together as a group, right? And so it can help. It can certainly bring guys together more so than not, for sure.
How about as far as cities like Montreal? I mean, you coached in Toronto. There are some certain like NHL cornerstone cities, so to speak. Is there something about playing in those type of arenas and in those cities?
There is. Montreal. I mean, I used to, Saturday night, hockey night in Canada was a thing for us. It was black and white, so that's how long it's been. But we used to sit around on Saturday night and watch the Montreal Canadiens play. And, most of the people in the town in Saskatchewan I lived in were either Toronto or Montreal fans, right? So we watched a lot of that. And then to be able to, go and be a player in the Montreal Forum and now, go and coach there is extremely special. Really, to be honest with you, every city's special, but original 6 cities, they just have a little bit of a different aura to them.
All right, lastly, as a player, did you have a game day tradition? I hate to say superstitions, but there's some routine you had to follow as a player going into a game?
Yeah, it's funny, the routine or the superstition, what is it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, there's no question. Routines, whether it be, what the pregame meal was, which foot you put on your skate on first. I got undressed after every period, which when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that was a lot of work over an 18-year career, And then as a coach, I was extremely superstitious. My family is superstitious. We were on a 10-game winning streak. I'd worn the same suit, the same tie back in 2018, and I couldn't find my tie. And my wife said, what makes you think that the tie you wear is going to make any difference on the outcome of this game? And I was like, okay, that makes sense. No, I couldn't find it. I stopped being superstitious, and we won the Stanley Cup. So voila, it's a lot of effort and a lot of energy to be superstitious, that's for sure.